Hi, I'm Kristen, and today I'll be talking about spiritual ear ringing, which is ear ringing from contact rather than from damage to the ears like tinnitus. So to get right into it, a lot of people think of ear ringing and they think of tinnitus, which is damage from hearing loud sounds over extended periods of time, or one really loud sound at once, or it comes from illness. So if somebody has listened to loud music with their headphones on for years, that could cause damage that leads to ringing. Somebody that works in a concert venue or goes to a lot of live music shows and is just constantly kind of pummeling their ears with those loud sounds, they might end up having tinnitus. Also, it can be caused by somebody having like the cold or the flu with fluid building up in the ear that would also cause this ringing to type of occur. But typically, when you think of tinnitus and that kind of damage ringing sound, it is a continuous kind of flat type of tone. It might increase in volume, decrease in volume throughout the day, or particularly at night when people lay down to go to sleep and surroundings are a lot quieter, you might hear that tinnitus ring picking up and being louder and more annoying. But it is um, it's kind of a constant. It's kind of always there in the background behind kind of all of your regular everyday sound and noise that you're hearing. And it's not at all the same as spiritual earring. So in my experience, when I have this ear ringing occur that is spiritual in nature, that signifies that there's some type of contact that's coming in. I have one of my ears muffle first, so I can hear a little bit of sound through the ear that is picking up the ringing. Um, but it sounds like almost like something like a hand or something has been placed over my ear. And then as that muffling sound like gradually comes away, I'll hear this really high pitched ring that kind of replaces the muffled sound. And so the ringing tone that I hear is typically the sound of like a standby television. So anybody else that's a child of the 80s or 90s or even before that, you might remember that at night when there were no programs on, there would just be a standby screen that would happen, or even like an emergency alert system kind of tone that would come on. And it's almost that exact sound that I start hearing when I have like these sporadic bursts of ringing, showing that something is trying to contact me. And it's worth noting that the sound is quite physical. It sounds like it's happening in the outer ear. It sounds like something is physically happening to the ear in order to cause this ringing to occur. So I would not put this in the same kind of category as clairaudience, where somebody might be picking up voices or picking up tones or sounds that are heard within the mind, and that is another form of kind of audible contact, but it seems very different. And I know that there are other people that have had this ear ringing occur, and they might not have the muffled sound, but it is kind of like it comes in spurts. It's sporadic, so they might just hear it and it picks up instantly, and then it lasts for a couple seconds, and then it's gone. Um, and so yeah, it doesn't last. So it's a lot of people that hear about experience. Excuse me. A lot of people that hear about experiencers talking about their ear ringing kind of try to chalk it up just to tinnitus, but it's so brief and it's so loud and it's um, so centralized to just one ear and not even kind of within the mind, not within the head. I would almost say is like with a typical tinnitus that you wouldn't confuse the two. So I did a little bit of looking into seeing like whether there have been any religions that have talked about this type of ear ringing or how it would signify contact. And the closest I came was finding a passage in the book of Samuel from the Bible. And in that passage, which is Samuel 3:11, God said, "I am about to do something in Israel that will make the ears of everyone who hears about it tingle." Um, so I don't know if tingling is really the same thing as this kind of ear ringing that a lot of us experience as people with contact, um, but it could be. It is a passage about God speaking to His people or to somebody that needs to receive a message that, like when something important is happening or when something important is being conveyed, like that sound within the ears is going to be heard. And so in my particular case, I get different meanings out of different ears, and a lot of people that have this happening, they don't have specific clear messages that come in, and I typically do. So if I hear this kind of muffled sound and then the ringing coming in through my left ear, I will close my eyes and I'll try to quiet my mind as much as possible, and I might see a picture come in of clairvoyant imagery, or I might hear something that is clairaudient. And typically, with these messages that come in with the spiritual ear ringing, they are very short to the point. It's not like kind of messages that come in through meditation, which might be ongoing or longer, or one message continues into another. Typically, it is a quick flash or a quick sound, a quick sentence or a phrase, and then it's gone. Um, and then in my right ear, I also hear messages, and this seems to be like my telepathic ear. So if there is somebody that I know in my waking, regular, everyday life, and they are kind of thinking about me or trying to send me a message, I will hear that muffled sound in the ringing in my right ear before I hear that person speaking. And again, it's the same case as with my left ear. I will just kind of hear typically like one phrase, one sentence, and then it's gone. I have had longer instances of kind of picking up more sound besides that, but it tends to get like a lot lower in volume, and then it fades away. Um, so even though those are my experiences, other people have completely different ways of interpreting what their ringing means. So for certain people, the ringing could signify that there is non-human intelligence that's near them, and so if they are picking up ringing on the right-hand side, then that means that something is standing or near them on the right, or vice versa with the left-hand side. There are other people where they will have this ringing and it won't signify that there's a message that's incoming, but it will show that there's something they need to be paying attention to. So if they are watching something on TV or they're reading a certain passage or there was something they were really ruminating on in their mind, if that ringing kicks in, it's kind of like almost like a light bulb going on, or a highlighter coming out, and it's kind of pinpointing like what was just on your mind, what were you just thinking about, or what was just coming into your mind that you should be putting extra emphasis on. Um, and that's really important, especially if somebody is reading a book and there is a particular passage that they might have just skimmed over or weren't really paying attention to. Like that ringing will tell them like go back, go and reread what you just read because that was really important. Um, and then there are other people who, if they hear the ringing occur, they might know that something is going to be coming up that day or in a short amount of time. So um, it could signify that maybe within a few hours or within the next 24 to 48 hours, they might be having a contact event. So if they don't see orbs every single night, that ringing might be a kind of signifier that there will be orbs outside tonight or tomorrow night. Or it could mean that they're going to have some type of astral dream contact later that night. Or it could be something as confrontational as having an actual non-human intelligence, a being coming and being inside their space within a short amount of time. Um, but it's different for everybody, so it's hard to give advice as far as what exactly does it mean, besides just there's a form of contact going on, because it's so individual and every single person needs to kind of find out for themselves like what is going on, what does it mean. Is there a pattern that keeps on repeating, where you notice that every time this ringing occurs, then X, Y, and Z is happening. So I would say that if somebody is an experiencer, they're seeing things in the sky, or they're seeing shadows or shadow people around in their space, or um, it seems like they are receiving some type of clairaudient or clairvoyant contact. I would say if you have the ear ringing and you don't know what it means, I would say the first thing you should do is just kind of quiet your mind, close your eyes, and see if there's anything coming in. Because if there is a clear message coming in, well, there's your answer as to why you're getting the ringing. And if that doesn't bring about anything, yeah, I would say like look at what your thoughts just were, or what happens in the next few hours, the next day or two, because that might shine light on why this is happening to you and what it means for you. And so as you know, as time goes on, the next time that you hear it, you're like, oh well, I know this is what's happening, and I either need to listen for something or like close my eyes and look for something, or I just need to be aware that I need to prepare myself mentally for some type of possibly more physical contact to be occurring. So if you have any experience with ear ringing and you think that there is some other type of reason why this might be occurring, or if you believe that there is some other type of advice that could be given to experiencers that are having this happen but don't exactly know what it means, please let me know in the comments, and that would be very helpful for other people that are seeing this video to know about. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.